Hey, good morning, ladies. It is day 3 of the Holiday Survival Challenge. And before I get started, I have a confession to make. This is the most days in a row that I've actually put makeup and done my hair um, for the whole day. And then it's probably the earliest that I have ever gotten ready since I left corporate America. So I wanted to show up made up for you guys in these mornings. So, hey Amy, hi Iris. Amy, I meant to email message you yesterday. Please let me know if you received the email yesterday. I know that was an issue and I don't know why they're getting hung up, but I hope that you did. So before we get started into the coaching, I wanted to announce a new giveaway winner for the day 2 breakthrough. So ladies, if you haven't been posting to the threads in the Facebook group, I really encourage you to post just your biggest takeaway, your biggest breakthrough, something new that you learned, something just that you want to share, an accomplishment in the breakthrough. Hey Cherie, in our Facebook group, because yesterday's giveaway was for a package of Devotion Nutrition Flex flavors. I'm out of them right now, so I do not have an example just to hold up for you, but I posted a picture in the group. They're actually packets of flavors. They're calorie-free because they're sweetened with stevia, and they have different flavors like creme brulee, monkey bread, Fruit Loops, peanut butter crunch. They're so delicious. I add them to protein shakes, to oatmeal, to yogurt. They're just really handy to kind of spice up or sweeten up your food. So today I wanted to talk about healthy habits regarding nutrition. Yesterday I introduced the idea, or told you guys that the only way, the only scientific way to lose fat, and that is to change our body composition, to lose weight per se. Weight's not a really good measure of progress, but to lose body fat is to either one, move more to burn more calories, so we're burning more calories than our body does at rest, or to eat less, or to do a combination of the two. So I'm going to talk about eating less, or we're not specific. I'm just going to talk about healthy habits regarding nutrition. Um, Nutrition is really 70% of any progress that you make. So it's way more important than exercise. And I know that it can be a struggle. So I want to put forth, I don't feel like anything can be changed unless we track it. So there's other ways to track nutrition besides just tracking calories and macros. We're going to talk a little bit about that. This challenge is too short to go into exactly what tracking macros are and exactly how you can do that. But I provided a handout today of healthy habits. If you start tracking just at least one of them, you can see you can improve your nutrition and improve your health. So I'm going to go through all of them, and hopefully I feel like I'm a little bit all over the place this morning. So today I asked you for your tasks. I want you to download MyFitnessPal. It's a free app that you can get on with the Android store or the Apple store. It's a way to track your food. And I truly believe you can't change anything unless you track it. And I'm not asking you to go on a diet or to put yourself at lower calories. I just want you to start tracking your food. Before I started tracking my food, I thought I ate healthy, and I would just kind of in my head keep track. But once I actually started writing it down consistently or started using this app, everything changed, because it's very difficult to just kind of keep track in your head, and you think that you're following portion sizes and you're not. And who knows what you're picking up, if you're at the office or if you're at a social event, if you're snacking here and there, you can definitely end up overeating for sure. Hey ladies, we got a lot of people joining today, so I'm glad. So just the simple act of tracking will make you more mindful of what you're putting in your mouth and really how you feel, because also it can make you mindful if one of your habits is stress eating. If you're actually tracking it and seeing it down there on the app and keeping yourself accountable, it could make a huge difference. So I want you to download the app and just start tracking your food for the next 3 days. I'm not asking you to, you don't need to put like a calorie deficit or less calories, just start tracking. And they have a notes section at the bottom where you could track your NEAT. I don't want you to input your exercise in there because that's going to mess you all up, and they don't even have NEAT activities on there. But they also, you can track water. So if one of your healthy habits is to drink more water, you can track it on MyFitnessPal. So I feel like it's a more all-in-one app, but you could still use Habitbull to track the actual completion of your workouts. All right, so I'm going to go over the healthy habits handout that should have been attached to your email. If you did not get it, please write in the comments and let me know. So eat 50 grams of sugar or less per day. I am absolutely not about restricting something completely from your diet because I do not think that that is sustainable. But sugar does cause inflammation and hormone imbalances, and it's really addicting. So too much sugar causes a crash in blood sugars, which results in increasing cortisol, and too much cortisol interferes with hormones and affects all sorts of things. It can affect your thyroid function, and sugar and inflammation can cause chronic diseases. So make sure that you're tracking hidden sugars in prepackaged foods and count your Starbucks. And also count your Starbucks. Um, one of my best friends, she did the Whole30 a few months ago, and she was shocked at how much hidden sugars are in everything, especially prepackaged foods. So it can really add up. There is sugars in everything. So keeping that sugar down is really important. And I've noticed now that I really don't eat a lot of sugar, I eat natural sugars. And I guess we could get in a debate about sugar substitutes like stevia and packaged stuff like Truvia. It's technically a sugar, but it does not cause the cravings for me and the crash that I get from actually eating real sugar. When I eat real sugar right now, it does make me feel sick. It makes me feel really tired and sluggish, and I want more. I always want more. I don't feel that way when I eat those other sugar substitutes. So I'll actually put in here a brand of sugar substitutes that I absolutely love. They're created by Trim Healthy Mama. If any of you guys have heard of them, post in the comments. I'd love to hear it. I really like their Laura, I'm talking about, yeah, about artificials. I am really against like the sweeteners in Diet Coke. I can't think of the name. Aspartame and sucralose. I really avoid it. I'm going to go off on a tangent, but I will tell you a little story about sucralose. Um, Sucralose is in a lot of things, especially when you're in the bodybuilding world, or like protein shakes, BCAAs, branched chain amino acids. Just a lot of stuff is sweetened with sucralose. And when I was prepping for my last fitness competition, it was a few years ago, I was having it every day. I didn't really connect it. But I was having a lot of digestive distress. And the day of the competition, right before we were supposed to leave to go to the center where we were performing Mesa Arts, I had horrible digestive distress. My stomach bloated up like twice its size. I was in a panic. I was about to go on stage in these tiny, tiny scraps of material. I've been training for so long, and my stomach did not look good. I did not know what the cause was, and I didn't know at that time. I went on stage not feeling my best, and it wasn't until like a couple months later, like I had inadvertently not been taking sucralose, not been ingesting sucralose, and then it was this thing called Zip Fizz. You can get it at Costco. It's like a calorie-free energy drink. It has B12 and it's sweetened with sucralose. I had that, and I'm like, oh my gosh, that is what it was. So I stay away from sucralose a lot. I mean, it just depends. A lot of artificial sweeteners are very hard on the digestive system. So just something to know about. Okay. So sucralose is not my friend. I don't like aspartame. I also feel like that's really addicting too. Sucralose was really addicting. So maybe I'm addicted to these other ones too, but I have a lot less problems with them. I was craving Diet Dr. Pepper for a long time, and I literally felt like getting off of it was like getting off cigarettes or something. But using the habit breaking formula that I gave you on day one would absolutely help with that if that's something that you feel is an issue. Next healthy habit, eating enough fiber. 25 grams of fiber for women, 30 grams of fiber for men. I provided an article for some ideas. The more fiber you get, the more satiated you will feel, the more helpful it will be with going number 2, and just better for your digestive system. I had a client who was having a lot of problems with going to the bathroom. Yes, bubble guts, Laura. I had a client with a lot of issues going to the bathroom, and that can definitely affect how you feel and how you look. And I found out she was not eating hardly any fiber. So tracking this will really help with your appetite. If you feel like you're really hungry all the time, it will help with a lot of things. So that's a good thing to track. And then hydrate. A lot of us walk around at a constant state of dehydration, and it can interrupt your hunger cues. So sometimes my husband laughs at me when I say this, but it's for real. Maybe I asked my son, he's heard me say, are you really hungry or are you just thirsty? Because if you're dehydrated, it can actually make you feel more hungry, and then you might go to food. But if you maybe drink a glass of water, it can, get you stabilized in terms of hunger cues. So take your weight in pounds and to divide it by half. This is at least as many ounces a day you should drink. If you don't like the taste of water, you could get some liquid stevia drops. I've used Stir and Sweet Leaf. So again, I suggest staying away from aspartame or sucralose, but I mean, this is just my own experience and preference. Eat at least 20 grams of protein at every meal. Again, we don't have time to go into a whole training session about macronutrients, but I think pretty much everyone understands that protein is like lean meats, like from animal sources. Eggs, dairy has protein in it, and there's a lot of plant-based sources like legumes, and even in some grains there's protein. And I personally avoid dairy at most times, so I eat plant-based protein powder. I don't usually eat whey. Sprouts, if you have a Sprouts there, that is where you live, they have a good version. Orgain's okay in terms of the taste. So if you start tracking getting at least 20 grams of protein at every meal, protein actually has the highest thermic effect of any macronutrient. I don't want to confuse you, but your body burns more calories by digesting protein than like straight carbohydrates, which is grains and like fruit and things like that, and fat. So it's really important to get enough protein, and especially if you're working out and lifting weights, you need enough protein to build muscle. If you're not building muscle, that could be, oh, I have to take my boys to school. Cherie, you said forward my info to you. Should I include you in my FitnessPal account to track my foods? No, that's not necessary. If you want to add me as a friend, my information is HMRank is my user information. So if you want to add me as a friend to MyFitnessPal, you're more than welcome. And then you need to make sure the settings say that your friends can view your diary. So if you have a question, I can certainly answer questions. And Laura said, you're guilty. I hate water. Well, we need water to survive. So if you don't like water, find a way to drink water. Okay, so I was talking about protein. I'm sorry I got. Oh, if you're not gaining muscle, if you're not seeing results from lifting weights, someone mentioned recently, like they started incorporating weights and they're not seeing any results after a few weeks. It could be because your protein intake is really low. There's probably there could be a lot of different factors, but I look to protein, as pretty essential if you're trying to build muscle and change your body composition. Don't let hunger get below a level 3 and eat to a level 6 fullness. Just the standard American diet and habits of Americans. And I think women typically, they think that the answer is to starve themselves, but when you starve yourself, you really have an urge to binge then. So there's a link to a hunger scale in that handout. You don't want to let yourself get starving. You want to start to feel like a little bit hungry and then you eat. So I eat like 4 to 5 times a day. I used to eat 5. I eat about 4 times a day. And don't overstuff yourself. I remember when I was younger, I used to I love food. I used to eat and eat and eat and just be absolutely stuffed. I know you guys know that feeling after Thanksgiving, that like pregnant food baby. It's very uncomfortable. So you just want to eat to just a 6 fullness till you're just full, just right, and then just know that you can eat a few hours later. Soy protein is an option. Some women have problems with soy. It can be disruptive to hormones, so that's not something I advocate, but if you like it, and you feel like you don't have any problems with hormone balance, go ahead and eat soy protein. So, so follow the hunger scale, and the hunger scale is going to be really important when we talk about navigating holiday eating. So that's just a really good. Research has shown that leaner nations eat only to a 6 fullness level. That's why the Europeans are so fit, because they just don't stuff themselves. Planning. Plan your meals the night before. I always advocate home cooked meals. Prepackaged meals have a lot of additives to it, hidden sugars, and there's just something about doing home cooking that is nourishing to you, and it's the ultimate level of self-care. But if you're a busy working woman, it can be very difficult to keep up with cooking and all your other responsibilities. So that's why I really advocate meal preparation. And I would always pack my food. Well, I would meal prep, package everything up, and just be able to grab what I need the next day to eat. So plan your meals before. I just really advocate that. And then also, we're going to talk about holiday eating. I'm not about you taking your own Tupperware container to a party and sitting in the corner and eating chicken and broccoli, but when it's not these times, I do, when I'm out and about with my kids or running errands all day, I will bring food with me so I can stay on track. So that's part of planning as well. And then eat at least 2 servings of green vegetables a day. I have a friend, she doesn't really like vegetables. She barely eats vegetables. We really need micronutrients in addition to macronutrients. So you need to get your vitamins and minerals. So eating at least 2 servings of green vegetables a day will also add fiber to your diet and help you feel full. You can eat tons and tons of greens. Like when I'm trying to, I'll talk a little bit tomorrow about your calories as a bank, but your body only burns so many calories a day. So if you think of your calories as a bank and you're withdrawing from your bank, you pick and choose what you withdraw. If I'm trying to not eat very much so I can eat more at a party, that is the hugest tip I have. I will fill up when I'm hungry beforehand on tons of like leafy greens, which are really low in calorie, and they can fill you up because they have fiber. You can eat tons of volume, and I like to eat a lot, so I love volume. You can get away with a lot of volume with leafy greens. Any vegetable, really. One trick is at each meal to eat less dense foods first, so veggies, then your protein, and then your starchy carbs, which are grains, potatoes, um, and nothing else is coming to mind right now, chips, things like that. 75% of your food each day should be whole foods, not processed or packaged, and this really goes into the home cooking that I advocate, and eating actually whole foods as nature created them, as opposed to getting them from a package like frozen dinners or you know, protein bars. That's like the biggest things. I would say like prepackaged meals and like protein things. So I really advocate actually eating the whole foods. And then sleep. So many women skimp on sleep, and fatigue and stress hinder fat loss. Well, yeah, so if you have trouble sleeping, you definitely need to work on it. She shared in the group that one of her bad habits is going to bed late. So if you share this, you know, if you feel like sleep is an issue, I would really make a conscious effort to try just like 15 or 30 minutes earlier a night, and make a habit of getting more sleep, because sleep is just healing, and it's really going to help you just get to your goals. So those are the healthy habits. I want you guys to pick just one and start tracking it along with tracking your food. So I hope this makes sense. If anyone has any questions, please let me know. You guys have been really quiet. I didn't hear a lot of breakthroughs yesterday, so I'm going to post another breakthrough thread, and today's giveaway is going to be another set of resistance bands. So it's loop resistance bands. I take them with me when I travel. I take them to the gym because many gyms don't have them, and they're just awesome for working out and working your glutes, especially because that is my favorite body part to work. So have a great day all, and I will talk to you soon. I hope I didn't forget anything in this meeting or in this coaching. I feel like I'm forgetting something. I guess before I log off, please, I hope everyone is working on their EFT and working on breaking their bad habits, and we're replacing them with these new ones. And also increase your NEAT, increase your daily activities, and you can track it in MyFitnessPal if you download that app. Okay, have a great day. Talk to you soon.